Well, hello. Welcome to Supermicro's webinar channel, and thank you for joining us today in this webinar about the innovative solutions for cloud gaming, media transcoding, and AI inferencing using the new Intel Data Center GPU Flex Series. My name is Michael Schulman, and today I have two guests with me. One is Thomas Jorgensen, who's the Senior Director of Technology Enablement here at Supermicro. We have Radhika Rao, who is the Director of Product and Business Management in the Data Center GPU Group at Intel. So what we're going to do is have an interactive discussion. We have some slides. Before we begin, I'd like to highlight some key aspects of this channel and the tools you can use while you watch. So there's a downloads tab, which you can download the slides when you want. And you'll find other materials and some web links to follow up with us. There's a questions option. If you have some questions, please ask them during the session. What we'll do is we will answer those kind of at the end. We'll go through as much as we can in the time allotted. Okay. So first of all, thank you, Thomas and Radhika, for joining us today. So briefly, what I wanted to cover here at the beginning, a few weeks ago, the Data Center GPU Flex Series was announced by Intel. And what you can see here is this is a very important announcement from Intel. It was on their homepage as well as on the Supermicro homepage. So we have a lot of material. Intel has a lot of material, and together you can kind of create the solutions and learn more about the technology that we are going to talk about today. Okay, so we're going to cover two major topics, kind of interweave. The first is, what are the new markets that the Intel Data Center GPU Flex Series addresses? What are the different things? And Thomas will be talking most about that. And then details about the new card or the new CPU, the new chips that are in this solution. And Radhika is the expert on that, and she'll be handling some of those topics. Okay, so Thomas, why don't you tell us a little bit about, what are these different areas and why is the new data center GPU great for these?
Thanks, Michael, and thanks for inviting me on for the webinar today. So the new Intel Data Center GPU Flex Series is a very strong solution for various workloads, particularly for the visual cloud, media, and cloud gaming. And, what is that? So cloud gaming is one of the platforms where you can, instead of having a console, you can play with any device you have and still have a very high quality experience in playing games on your laptop or your mobile phone or your Roku or Apple TV. So any device will be able to play nice rendered graphics and good-looking games, right? So that's the cloud gaming part. Media delivery is where when you watch a video on the internet, how is that video delivered? What kind of quality do you get? For AI Edge Inferencing is inferencing on live imagery. If you want to do some metrics, if you want to understand what's going on with live video, so you can do AI on live video, live audio, and basically you can move inferencing out to the edge. These data center GPU solutions from Intel allows you to, even with low power, do very high performance AI inferencing at the edge. And the last one is the virtual desktop infrastructure, where you can do remote work and remote log into a desktop. So you can have a high density of that. So those are the primary market for the Intel Data Center GPU Flex Series.
Okay, great. And so we'll dig into those a little bit more and what the exact solution is. So Radhika, why don't you talk and lead us through kind of more the details of this new, kind of hardware, and then eventually we'll get into some software, from Intel.
Yeah, thank you, Michael, and thank you, Thomas, for including me as well. So our Data Center GPU Flex Series is really designed to address the markets that Thomas just mentioned, and focusing in on quality density and latency requirements that those use cases needs. And our real priority value prop for these products is to deliver a robust solution and an open solution for all of our customers to take advantage of these products. And that will really be the value prop to deliver to that intelligent visual cloud market that we've been talking about. We have two products here. We have the Flex 140 and the Flex 170. And I wanted to just go over some of the details on both of those. So Michael, if you could go to the next slide.
Okay,
Let me start with thank you. Let's start with the Flex 140. This is our 75 watt TDP card. It's a PCIe Gen 4 add-in card, and it's built on our XeHPG architecture. And I'll talk about the architecture in a couple more slides, but this architecture is really going to deliver the 8 Xe cores, which gets you the execution units that will be matrix engine and vector engines. It also is going to combine those Xe cores with media engines and ray tracing units and deliver this with 2 GPUs on the card. It'll be in a half height, half length form factor, and it's going to be paired with our Intel Scalable Gen 3 processors. So this is the first product that I wanted to talk about, and it's really optimized for TCO and density. If you go to the second slide here, this is the second product that we have. This is the Flex Series 170, and it's our 150 watt TDP product. Again, also built on the XeHPG architecture. But in this card, we have 1 GPU on the card, still a PCIe Gen 4 support paired with the scalable Gen 3 processors. But with that 1 GPU, you're going to get 32 Xe cores, which is going to be paired with 2 media engines and 32 ray tracing units as well. This is a full height, 3/4 length single Y card. And I should mention both of the cards are passively cooled. So really ideal for building towards the edge and putting into the solutions that Supermicro is building today.
Okay, great. Well, thanks for those details. So let's go back to Thomas now. So let's talk about the cloud gaming and kind of what's important and what we've seen in terms of performance.
So the cloud gaming market is all about high density in your accelerators. And as Radhika pointed out here, the Intel Flex Series, the 140 or the 170, really allows for very high density cloud gaming platform, both for support for Android and for Windows. So I will just add a little interesting side note here. We have a customer working with one of our servers that has 10 of these Flex Series 140 in one server, and they are able to support up to 540 game streams per server. That means 54 game streams per card. This is an unprecedented density in cloud gaming compared to any solutions previously. This is something that is a game changer for cloud gaming and can allow up to even 4,000 to 5,000 users per rack. So for real dense and for high capacity cloud gaming, this is a new game in town. It really is a game changer. What is important here is also that there's a very broad support for the most popular game engines on the market. We're talking Unity, Unreal, etc. And another point I'd like to stress is that the One API platform, the software platform for the Flex Series, allows you to seamlessly run across CPUs and GPUs. That means you program to the One API and it will take advantage of what acceleration you have underneath it, be it CPUs or GPUs.
Yeah, I know. Radhika will cover some of that later. So, in terms of the specific or recommended configuration, what would you suggest for cloud gaming?
So we have a range of platforms that has been validated with the Flex Series GPUs. One of them is our Cloud DC. try to pronounce the sys620C TN12R because, we call it Cloud DC because it's a friendly term. But this one is allows you to pack up to 6 of the Flex Series cards into a 2U platform. And that allows for a very, very dense setup. So you could have, in a rack, could have really a high capacity for game streams. So a couple of our customers are using this right now for cloud gaming. I think this is a very, very strong platform and supports the high density architecture that the Flex Series provides.
Okay, great. Yeah, that's a great solution. I know I've seen it. So what is the, if we move on from media processing and delivery, what is the solution that we're putting together?
So one of the key things, one of my personal favorite things with the Flex Series is the ability to provide AV encoding. So the Flex Series is the industry first hardware-based open source AV1 encoder in a GPU. And what does that mean? AV1 is becoming a predominant codec for video encoding on the distribution of video on the internet today. It has been adopted by some of the biggest companies on the internet, like YouTube, Amazon, Netflix, Hulu. Companies like that have adopted AV1. And there's a couple of reasons for that. One thing, it's an open source codec. That means you're not paying royalties to use the codec. Secondly, by providing hardware-based encoding, you can achieve a much better performance, and you can achieve a 30% distribution cost savings. That means you can provide the same quality video streams with less bandwidth, 30% to be precise. That is a significant TCO to be gained for people distributing video on the internet. And as everybody is aware, internet traffic is 70% video. So this is a very, very important feature to have in a accelerator focused on media.
Okay, great. So then, from that, the solution, first solution from Supermicro would be the Big Twin, correct?
Yes. So the Big Twin is a very popular device with a number of our CDN customers, and CDNs, content delivery network providers, are key to delivering video on the internet. So a lot of the media processing takes place in the CDNs today. And the Big Twin is a very, very powerful platform where you can have a multi-node architecture in a 2U platform. And this Big Twin we're seeing on screen now supports up to 8 of the Flex Series GPUs. So again, it's about having a very high density compute in a very compact platform that allows for a lot of these systems. And this is the name of the game for CDN or video providers on the internet today.
Yeah, I mean, and you can put up to 10 GPUs in a single kind of chassis, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah, this is our transcoding solution that you're showing now, right? This is our 4U10 GPU. And this is, I believe, one of the most popular platforms we have at Supermicro. Supermicro has gone to become one of the biggest suppliers of GPU platforms today. And this particular is our number one platform. And it's number one because it can take up to 10 GPUs in one chassis. And this is the one I alluded to before where a cloud gaming customer is doing media transcoding on 10 of the Flex cards in one server. And that means this one server could support up to 500 users. So a very dense and a very popular platform from us. This is the key, I think, server for transcoding going forward for Supermicro.
Okay.
Did we lose Michael here?
Pizza.
All right. I will switch to the next slide. So another market that's very important for the Flex series is the AI Edge Inferencing. And I talked about it a little bit in the beginning. So we have a number of customers doing AI Edge Inferencing right now on the Cloud DC platform. So this platform is very strong for Edge, and it's because it has a quite compact form factor. I will say one thing, for Edge, we have a number of solutions on the market, and some of them are the more embedded focused, where you can put solutions right up on 5G antennas and in retail environments and adverse environments. So a number of our servers are and have been validated and are being used for AI Edge Inferencing as we speak. But this one particular, we're running a couple of POCs, and one of them have really shown a very, very high performance using the Flex Series GPU. I believe that one is running a Flex Series 170 and has shown a very, very high performance for visual inferencing in a retail environment.
Great.
So, Radhika, over to you.
Yeah, why don't I deep dive into a little bit of the microarchitecture that is kind of the guts of the Flex series. So as we've talked before, the Flex series GPUs are based off of our XE-HPG microarchitecture, and it really is a scalable architecture for high performance graphics. That's the HPG. And it's an architecture that's really specifically designed for visually immersive workloads. So taking a lot of the media capabilities that we are going to be seeing used in some of these Supermicro servers, building upon that, you are going to take that XE core element and really have a solution for vector data types and matrix data types. The matrix data types that are really kind of hitting to those AI capabilities that you just mentioned, Thomas, are coming out of our matrix engine, or what we also call the XE matrix extensions. That's the XMX. And then these 16 vector engines and 16 matrix engines are all part of that XE core element. And when we look at the comparison between the products, you'll see that for the 140, you have 16 XE cores, and for the 170, you'll have 32 XE cores compared to there. Thank you. And so you also have some ray tracing units also dedicated on that microarchitecture. So this slide just kind of gives you a table of the comparisons between the two products. Some things that I just wanted to highlight are, again, the 140 has 2 GPUs per card, really delivering that high density opportunities. And then your 170 has 1 GPU per card, and you can see the XE cores that are supported in each. Now, for the 140, I wanted to highlight that you get 4 of these fixed function media engines. So the XE media engine, 2 per GPU, it's what's going to really be able to address the AV1 encode, as well as some of our legacy codecs as well, that really help support those media delivery use cases. And on the 170, you've got 2 of those fixed function media engines there. A couple of other things we wanted to just highlight are memory capacity per SKU. You've got 12 gigabytes, 6 per GPU on the 140, and then 16 on the 170, really trying to ensure that you have the right memory capacity for the different use cases in the visual cloud. And the last one I wanted to highlight here is the virtualization instances support. So as we start looking into those VDI use cases, you can see our support for SRIOV here. On the 140 is going to be 62 instances and then 31 instances on the 170. Again, both of these are PCIe Gen 4 cards. At the start of our program, we're launching with the 3rd generation Intel Xeon products, and we will be adding in next generation products as well over time.
Okay, great. I'm back. Little technical
No problem.
difficulties. So, okay, so let's talk a little bit about the software stack.
Yeah, so I think, as we all know, for GPUs, the software stack is essential. And what we really wanted to make sure we deliver is that open source platform and open, robust platform with specific solution stacks for each of the segments that we talked about today. So just to anchor you on some of the colors here, we have a combination here of the green and open source, some third-party elements in yellow, and then the open source components when it comes to driver support, upstreaming. And then, of course, in blue, we've got Intel-specific software. But these are really geared towards a stack that is optimized for AI visual inference, media processing and delivery, cloud gaming, both Android and Windows cloud gaming, and then, of course, VDI support, looking across the spectrum of VDI for both VMware and KVM solutions. And I just want to highlight that while we are looking at deploying our software solution stacks with continuous optimizations over time. So the focus of media delivery and cloud gaming is at the start. AI visual inference will be coming in shortly, and then VDI as well will come in later.
Okay, so what's so special about AV1?
Yeah, I think, Thomas did a great job of kind of highlighting how AV1 comes into the use cases. But I just wanted to reiterate again that it is royalty free. It's really going to be able to deliver that 30% better compression, which directly is going to tie back into TCO benefits for distribution costs specifically. So this is, one of the codecs that is really going to be part of the future. And it's going to give, that uncompromising quality at the TCO benefits that you are going to see with that distribution, the better compression and distribution savings. So not only do we support the AV1 encode here for the data center use cases, we of course also support the codecs that are in the traditional space, HEVC, VP9 as well. So again, it gives you that full breadth of codec support that will really get those next gen video experiences. Especially with COVID, we know that has become a big part of our traditional use cases.
Okay, excellent, thank you. And on the XE, there's these matrix extensions. Can you tell us like what the benefit of that is and what users who program, do the programming will see with this?
Yeah, so these matrix extensions, again, are part of that architecture, and it's really to have dedicated built-in AI functionality so we can accelerate most AI data types here. So FP16, Int8, Int4, are all going to be critical for that AI inferencing at the edge that Thomas mentioned for those AI inferencing solutions. These are going to really help you accelerate some of these use cases that you see there. Object classification, object detection, and image segmentation are the three that we're focusing on at the start. And then, of course, we'll be optimizing over time many more frameworks and many more models. These are all going to be on the traditional frameworks, PyTorch and TensorFlow, as well as the Intel solution of OpenVINO. And then when you pair these extensions, these frameworks, and these capabilities with our media engines, you really have a total solution for media analytics. And that's going to be really where you have the end-to-end flow that can take advantage of decode, adding the AI inference on top of it, and giving the solution to the end user.
Oh, okay, really interesting, great stuff. Okay, now there was one other kind of use case that you said will be coming soon. So Thomas, can you tell us a little bit more about VDI?
Yeah, so VDI is the virtual desktop infrastructure. This is where you can log in with a generic laptop via browser and have a corporate desktop with all the correct software, and it's easy to maintain and monitor and control for companies. So it's been very popular over the years. What the Flex series bring is a very high density to this game. That means with the Flex series 140, up to 62 virtual functions are supported. And that is again, very, very high compared to other solutions available on the market. And there is no additional virtualization cost for the GPU and software licensing. Again, this is a way to increase the or reduce the TCO to a level that has not been seen before. I will say one thing: the VDI is not part of the initial release of the software for Flex Series, but I know it's in the works and it'll be arriving soon.
Okay, and then what's the the Big 20 again is a great solution for this. You can just tell us why this is great for VDI.
Again, this is the game of high density in a small form factor, right? With only 2U, we can support up to 8 of these Intel data center GPUs, and if you multiply 8 by 64, you get a very, very high number of virtual desktops supported by a compact 2U platform. As we have not yet worked with the Flex Series on virtual desktop, we do have a number of other customers using this very platform for VDI. But we believe that with Flex Series, they will increase the performance and the number of supported virtual desktops significantly.
Yeah. A very high density solution. So I think we've covered now the different areas and a deeper dive into the Flex Series GPUs from Radica. So this forms the basis for many and a number of these really innovative solutions from Supermicro. And we continue to work together very closely on bringing all kinds of technology to market. We're looking forward to next-gen CPUs, next-gen GPUs, but right now, with this recent release from Intel, there's a wide range of solutions and workloads that are just are going to just run great at very competitive, very low cost. With high density and the 2 different Flex Series cards that you can get from Intel. Plus the software ecosystem, as Radhika said, is just critical for this. So we urge everyone to go, look at this on the Intel website, to find out more. Do we have any questions that have come in? No, we don't. Okay. So someone has sent us a question. Oh, here we have one. So this one's to Radhika. When will the Ponte Vecchio be available?
Yeah, it's a great question. We have 2 data center GPU swim lanes. This one is our visual compute swim lane with the Flex Series. And then our Ponte Vecchio product line is part of our compute accelerator swim lane. So for that swim lane, we are targeting that to be available for limited release in 2022. So this year we're targeting that and then expanding that in 2023. Our lead customer is, of course, Aurora, which we've publicly announced. And so that's where our first focus is.
Right. Okay. And any performance comparisons yet? Or are we just too early for that?
We're a little too early to release those, but we did, last year at Architecture Day and even this year, we've been highlighting kind of the progress we've made on Ponte Vecchio. And we're seeing really great performance on our AI training capabilities, as ResNet is the benchmark that we showed at Investor Day this year. And also we have working on a breadth of HPC applications where that's really where that product will be targeted.
Yeah.
So you should be hearing more about that soon in the next couple of months.
Okay. Thomas, here's a question for you. What is the maximum number of Flex Series GPUs that can be put into a Supermicro server?
So the max number we can have is the system you actually have on your screen right now underneath the 2 Flex Series cards. This is our 4U10 GPU. And as the name alludes to, you can have 10 GPUs in it.
Okay, yeah, right.
This is a very, very powerful platform. And we've had this on the market for the last, I believe, year and a half. And it's one of our biggest sellers right now. But it takes up to 10 full length, double wide, full height GPU cards. So pretty much any GPU you can throw at it.
And someone's asking, is the 10, is it 10 of the 75 or 10 of the 150s? Does it make a difference for the maximum number?
It makes no difference. It can take 10 of the Flex 140s or the Flex 170.
Okay. So we've shown a bunch of solutions here that are based on the current Ice Lake. So question for Radhika, will these new GPUs work with both Ice Lake and Sapphire Rapids CPUs, moving forward?
Yeah, definitely. That's one of the intercepts that we'll have closer to the end of this year and early next year, where we'll be validating these GPUs with the Sapphire Rapids platforms as well.
Okay. And something else, Radhika, somebody's asking, in terms of workloads, is this ideal for HPC uses as well, or just just the ones we've talked about today?
Yeah, this product is really targeted towards the visual cloud space that we talked about today, and the Ponte Vecchio product line is where you'll have more focus on HPC and AI training. So I would differentiate these two workload spaces for these product swim lanes.
Okay. And it looks like the final question I have in here for Thomas is so based on some of your knowledge and tests, is the Flex series limited by PCIe Gen 4, or will applications run even better when Gen 5 is out?
The Flex series will run as fast on Gen 4 as on Gen 5. They are a Gen 4 generation architecture, so there's no added benefit for Gen 5 as it is right now. But we will certify for Gen 5 as many of the systems that we're talking about today will be available in Sapphire Rapids or Gen 5 versions next year when it's properly released.
Okay, great. And another question just came in. Is there, Thomas, do you know if there's like a sandbox available to test the Big Twin?
I believe the Big Twin system or the Big Twin group are planning to have some units available for either POCs on-prem, but also for remote login if somebody's interested for that. So I know the Big Twin team is working on something like that for
Okay.
the Big Twin.
Well, so whomever asked that, talk to your sales rep or your Supermicro FAE and see what can be arranged there. I know we have systems available for that purpose.
Yeah.
So if we don't have any more any more questions, let me just wrap up by saying, we hope you learned a lot today. A combination of an Intel and Supermicro webinar where we dug into more of the details of the hardware, but talked about solutions, because that's eventually what someone wants to buy. And we welcome your feedback. Let us know how we did. There's a feedback tab that you can enter comments or suggestions, and continue to look at what we're offering. Visit our website, download all of the information on this. Look at ours and the Intel's homepage to learn more about, I think we avoided the word Arctic Sound throughout, but many of you know that was the code name. Really, thank you everyone for joining, and we look forward to having you soon on another Supermicro and Intel webinars. Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.